This Day in Sports History. This episode is brought to you by the Sterling Soap Company. Sterling Soap is 100% natural and with a variety of bath soaps, shave soaps, beard balm, lotions, cologne, and many more personal care products in a large variety of scents, you're sure to find something that's perfect for you or that special someone in your life. Check them out at sterlingsoap.com. And welcome back to another edition of This Day in Sports History, a member of the Sports History Network. You can find more podcasts and more info at sportshistorynetwork.com. It's June 23rd, and on this day in 1917, it was the most unusual relief appearance. It was the Boston Red Sox hosting the Washington Senators at Fenway Park. This was the first game of a doubleheader, and getting the start for the Sox on this day was Babe Ruth. The leadoff man for the Senators was Ray Morgan, who quickly drew a walk. Ruth was not happy with home plate umpire Brick Owens' interpretation of the strike zone, and he started yelling at him that he'd missed 2 calls already. Owens threatened to run Ruth out of the game, to which Babe responded, "You run me out, and I will come in and bust you in the nose." Well, that did it. Ruth was ejected, and true to his word, rushed in to deliver a punch to the umpire's nose. The catcher, Chester Thomas, restrained Babe, but he was still swinging wildly. Several policemen were summoned to pull Ruth off the field. Order now restored, the Sox needed a new pitcher, and on came Ernie Shore. In fact, they changed the full battery with Sam Agnew replacing Thomas. Agnew cut Morgan down at second trying to steal, and then Shore proceeded to retire the next 26 batters. Under any other circumstances, it's a perfect game for Shore, right? No walks, nobody reached base on a hit or an error. He faced the minimum number of hitters. But it is not recognized as that by Major League Baseball. Instead, it is a combined no-hitter, with Ruth getting half the credit for that rare feat. The Sox won the game 4-0. On this day in 2010, it was nail-biting time for the U.S. men in the World Cup. The 2010 World Cup, right, hosted by South Africa. The low hum of a stadium full of vuvuzelas still resonate in your ears like the summer buzz of cicadas. Anyway, this is the final group stage match for the U.S. against Algeria, with the U.S. needing a win to advance. After drawing with England and Slovenia in their first 2 matches, they could not afford anything but a full 3 points. But the way the game went, it just seemed like one of those hard luck days when you do everything right but get no result. Clint Dempsey's goal in the 20th minute was negated by a close offside call. In the 57th minute, his shot hit the post and bounced away. A point-blank shot saved, a rifled free kick denied, other good chances just not finding the back of the net. With the game still scoreless and in stoppage time, the U.S. needed a miracle, and they got one. Here's Ian Darke on the call that night.
Plays it deep, Saife with a header. Howard gratefully claims it. Distribution, brilliant. Landon Donovan, there are things on here for the USA. Can they do it here? Cross, and Dempsey is denied again, and Donovan has scored! Oh, can you believe this? Go, go, USA! Certainly through. Oh, it's incredible. You could not write a script like this.
So a couple of things about that. You heard Ian Darke say that the outlet pass from Tim Howard to Donovan was brilliant, and it was beautiful because it set up the entire counterattack. Howard said that his time spent with Landon at Everton and the national team, he knew that he would be making a wide run to the right side, so it was nearly instinctual for him to put it in space out in front of him. Second, this goal carried a great amount of significance. The 2006 Men's World Cup team did not win a game and went home embarrassed. In the waning moments of this match with no goals, the American media covering the match were already knee-deep into their "what's wrong with U.S. soccer" stories. Fans watching at home in the U.S. were saying something like, "Yep, same old story." Instead, Landon Donovan's goal energized the feeling around U.S. soccer. People who hated the game were dancing in the streets after it. Times Square looked like New Year's Eve. With the win on this night, they won their group and booked a trip to the knockout stage. How about a story about never giving up on your dream? On this day in 2013, 44-year-old Ken Duke won his first PGA Tour event. Duke's journey was filled with setbacks and heartbreak. He started life as a professional golfer in 1994, but it took him 10 years grinding on the mini tours to finally get his PGA Tour card. Once there, he finished second a couple of times, but had yet to cash a winner's check by this point. Well, on this day, the 2-decade-long grind finally culminated in a win. Duke beat Chris Stroud on the second playoff hole to win the Travelers Championships, becoming the oldest player to pick up his first career win since Ed Doherty back in 1995. But luck did play a little bit of a role in his win. Earlier in the day, Duke's approach to the 10th was veering well off the mark, but hit a tree and then bounced onto the green to within 5 feet. He made birdie instead of a much bigger number. And let's close out today with a fun story from the minor leagues. On this day in 2007, the Mobile Bay Bears were playing the Montgomery Biscuits in a Class AA Southern League game. Bay Bears relief pitcher Matt Elliott gave up a sac fly in the bottom of the 8th inning that tied the game. Well, after he got back to the dugout, Elliott was not happy with himself. He headed to the bathroom located behind the home team dugout and slammed the door shut. And it stayed shut. The force of the slam broke the locking mechanism inside a steel frame that was set in a concrete wall. All attempts by Elliott to open from the inside failed. Attempts at kicking it from the outside, ramming it with heavy objects, all failed to open it. The fire department had to be called in. But in the interim, the game needed to be played. Mobile manager and former Atlanta Brave Brett Butler had to go to the bullpen to replace his relief pitcher who was stuck in the bathroom. The new relief man gave up a homer in the 10th, and the Biscuits beat the Bay Bears 5-4. As the crowd filed out after the game, Elliott was still stuck in the bathroom. It took nearly an hour to extricate him. Elliott said the next day on the team's radio broadcast, the whole event was kind of weird. And this story brought new meaning to a relief pitcher shutting the door. And time now for today's That's Got Nothing to Do with Sports fun fact. While probably not in as much use today, no doubt you still remember the old number 2 pencil. Did you ever wonder, is there a number 1 pencil? Well, the answer to that is yes. There's also a number 3 and a number 4. And while pencil technology was pretty firmly established in the 1840s, Walden author Henry David Thoreau is largely responsible for that numbering system. Thoreau's father owned a pencil factory, and Henry David came up with the numbering system to describe the range of darkness to lightness and the hardest to the softest. The number 2 turned out to be the best combination of both. This has been an original Thrive Suite production.